I'm Anthony Welfare. I'm Senior Advisor for CBDCs at Ripple. I've been around the blockchain space for enterprise blockchain for about 7 years, and I've written a book on it as well. So if you want to learn lots about commercializing blockchain, have a look at good bookshops. Ripple's about 750 people. We're growing massively, which means I never update the slides. So we grew by about 300-400 people last year. We're cross-border, known for our cross-border payments. But we also do lots of other sort of projects using XRP Ledger and other sort of technologies. One of those is CBDCs, and we've been working on CBDCs for around about 3 years now. A CBDC is issued by a central bank. Okay, so it's the same as the dollar or the euro in your pocket. It's issued by the central bank, and it's to use, and in whichever country you are, etc. It could be a world of 20, 30, 50% cryptocurrency, 1% CBDC, or vice versa, or any sort of mix on that. So we need to be ready for a world of interoperability and sort of bringing this all together. And banks do not want everyone to see every transaction on a blockchain, but there may be certain points, certain levels that may or may not. So in essence, you can control that. That's the point. And then the last one, it restructures the cost base. If we have a payment that we can make A to B without any intermediaries, it's a lot cheaper.
Hey everybody, it's Eddie from Tokyo. This is your cryptocurrency update from Japan, and that was Anthony Welfare. I uploaded that at about 2 o'clock this morning. I had somebody send it to me in my DM. They wanted to remain anonymous, so they are. It was, I thought, so big that I just got out of bed and made a 5-minute clip, just in case you didn't have time to watch the 10-minute clip. But here's the point. You see at the beginning of the video that Anthony says that Ripple's known for its cross-border payments, and we do lots of other projects and other sorts of technologies. One of those, CBDCs. Now, what exactly does that mean? Ripple It in New Zealand is reminding us that Ripple has a huge business model, and not all of it involves XRP. I think we know that. But he also goes on to say that they are building out CBDCs without the XRP ledger being involved. He says that's a fact. Now, where did he get that? On the Ripple solutions, you can see that for CBDCs, each solution is built on a private ledger that is based on XRP Ledger technology. So it's not on the XRP Ledger. If you ask me, I want you to imagine a liquidity hub, a pool of globally regulated sovereign stablecoins in central bank controlled wallets. And in these digital wallets, they can be dipped into at any time on demand to transact on an interoperable private ledger that would require no intermediary to settle. Zero cross-border friction. How would they settle? Well, there's numerous ways when you have stablecoins. And you can't rule out swap agreements between those central banks. They already do that now. So some of the larger countries could definitely have swap agreements with the US dollar, for example. So the big million-dollar question is, will it use XRP? I don't know. Probably it'll be an option, but I don't think it'll be necessarily a requirement. I'm going to take you out of this video with the 5-minute clip from the European Blockchain Convention. I'll put a link to the full video, which is just 10 minutes long, in the description. So do enjoy. Take care. Sayonara for now. Bye-bye.
A CBDC is issued by a central bank. Okay, so it's the same as the dollar or the euro in your pocket. It's issued by the central bank, and it's to use, and in whichever country you are, etc. In the middle, we have this mix. SCBDC is sort of synthetic CBDC, which is like a CBDC that could be issued by a commercial bank as part of the banking system. This bit in the middle is work in progress. I used to have a slide with loads of different sort of explanations of stablecoins and different types of stablecoins, and literally I'm sure it'd be 20 slides, and there's lots of different words and meanings. It could be a world of 20, 30, 50% cryptocurrency, 1% CBDC or vice versa, or any sort of mix on that. So we need to be ready for a world of interoperability and sort of bringing this all together. What do you need for a successful CBDC? James mentioned this yesterday very quickly, so I'll talk. A regulatory framework. There's been so much discussion over the last few days. We need the regulation, and we need it to come out. We need it to be fair and reasonable, and plenty of discussion about that. We need the technology enablers. So we have the technology, but we still need to work on how to make it better, quicker, and easier to use for us as humans. The most important point for me is that I can use this currency as well as my gran, who's 99, or my mum. We should all be able to use it the same. And then finally, most importantly, is benefits. There's no point building a CBDC or a regulated stablecoin for the fun of it. Like, there's just no point. Build it for benefits. And let's talk about a few. So a CBDC I can send from me to anybody straight away. I don't need a bank. I don't need anyone else. Programmable payments, so you can make it pay and do different things, split payments and do things like, you know, whatever you need in terms of smart contracts, programmability. Transparency, really important. Everything that's on a blockchain is trusted and trackable, okay? It doesn't mean everybody has to see everything. Yesterday there was a discussion, banks do not want everyone to see every transaction on a blockchain. But there may be certain points, certain levels that may or may not. So in essence, you can control that. That's the point. And then the last one, it restructures the cost base. If we have a payment that we can make A to B without any intermediaries, it's a lot cheaper because you've not got all the intermediaries in between. Benefits, innovation in new industries. I'll give you an example on that. Financial inclusion, the network grows, it scales, improve liquidity because you've got more currency flowing. Optimizes the value chain so you can pay up and down the value chain, the supply chain very quickly. And then obviously insight and risk management. Everything's tracked, so therefore you can get better analysis and information. Let's give you an example. So, everybody knows the gig economy. We all know, we've been talking about this for a while. This is a massive, industry. So $455 billion, and I'm sure there's other estimates that are just as big. There's three reasons why this economy is still growing fairly slowly. Centralized digital platforms, complexity of huge payments. So imagine your Uber payments when you use a taxi. There's so many small transactions and there's millions of them. And then to grow these, there's a lot of capital. If you use a CBDC, you will be able to fast track a lot of this and make it quicker and easier. This is real. We're working with a number of central banks. These are the two that we have announced. Royal Monetary Authority of Bhutan, that's a full CBDC, so they're a sovereign nation, and that's issuing and using their currency, and that's sort of very, very much in progress. And then finally, Palau, which is going to be a government-backed stablecoin, a US dollar stablecoin, but it's backed by the Palau government, and the money will be held one for one. So it's a regulated stablecoin, and one of the first that will come out. Okay, so thank you very much for that, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the day.